Facebook, Michael G. Davis, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, here for another installment, my Monday installment of Making the Biz in 5 minutes or less. Something I do here on Mondays and Thursdays, usually around this time, 1:30. So today we're going to talk about 25/8. 25/8. What a lot of people consider as when you're an entrepreneur or you're a business owner that's what you got to do. You got to work 25 hours a day. You got to work 8 hours a week. 8 days a week, right? But I'm here to subscribe to that. The fact that if you got to do anything for 25 hours a day and 8 days a week, then it's ineffective, right? What I do know about from my research and reading books and attending workshops and dealing with and looking up, studying successful people, successful business owners, is what I've noticed is that the more people make money, uh, the less it seems like they working. And for the longest, that worked contrary to what I heard in my circles or other business owners, especially in real estate, other realtors. What I heard from other people, it rang completely contrary to what I was personally seeing or reading about when I'm reading about people like Andrew Carnegie, who the book said the books that are written about him say that he was the one that worked the least out of all his business partners, but he made the most money. I read about people like Bill Gates, who brags about the fact that he works less than 35 hours a week. When we're over here talking about 70, 80 hours a week. So there had to be a disconnect somewhere in what I was hearing and what other people were saying. So one of the things that we talked about in our Create Your New Life real estate training on Thursday, we talked about taking breaks. And an analogy that they used this analogy of a lumberjack. Two lumberjacks. These two lumberjacks were the strongest lumberjacks in the town. And they were so strong, and they did the most production, meaning they cut the most trees down. So one day these lumberjacks had a competition. And one lumberjack, and it was for 24 hours, who could cut the most wood. And that one lumberjack, he nonstop. He just showed his skill and perseverance, and he kept swinging that axe 24 hours straight. But the other lumberjack, what he would do is that he would start swinging and he would start chopping wood, but every 2 hours he would stop and take 20 minutes, and then he would start again. So then, as the crowd began to build and they start seeing these two lumberjacks go to work, the crowd was just amazed by how the one lumberjack was just continuously able to go, the strength continuing to swing that axe to the point to where clearly this other lumberjack that was taking breaks wasn't taking the competition seriously, because he would stop every 2 hours and he would sit down and take a break. Well, after it was all said and done, and true enough, that other lumberjack went for that full 24 hours, swinging that axe. When the wood was counted, the lumberjack that was taking those breaks almost doubled the amount of trees cut down as the one that kept swinging for 24 hours. So what does that mean, right? Because the crowd was amazed by that fact, and they asked the lumberjack, and they said, "How were you able to do that when you were taking those breaks every 2 hours?" And what the lumberjack said was, he was like, "Not only was I able to get rest after swinging continuously for 2 hours, I was also able to sharpen my axe." See, the thing about it is that you can want to go at something all the time, but if you never take that break and refresh, if you never take that break and get that opportunity to sharpen the axe to make it sharper, then what you've done is you put yourself in a position where you can't compete with a person like me. See, I'm going to take that Sunday off. I'm going to work 6 days a week, 150%, but then on Sunday, I'm going to take that break so I can disconnect, I can refresh. Every 90 days, I'm going to go all in, but after every quarter, I'm going to take a couple of days, a weekend off, just a little weekend retreat for me to get disconnected and resharpen my mind and my feelings, my emotions. And then at least once a year, I'm going to go on a trip for 7 days, totally disconnect, so I can come back stronger. Because see, when that lumberjack sat down for those 20 minutes and he refreshed himself and he sharpened that axe, when he started swinging that axe again, he was swinging with the same amount of force that he started with. While that other lumberjack, as it got later and later and later and more hours and more hours and more hours, he started getting tired. His axe started getting dull. So what that means is that he stopped being productive. So you hear that 24 hours, it's 8 days a week, got to keep working because you in business, you got to keep doing it. Don't get tripped up on that, because you have got to maintain the level of momentum and strength throughout this race. It ain't easy owning a business, right? So you have to be able to maintain your strength and effectiveness through it. And what that does is that forces you to definitely take a break. Like I said before, you can't compete with me if you're not taking breaks like I'm doing, because I hit it too hard when I come back refreshed. Innovation, creativity, all that thing is energized once I come back. So that's all I had to share today, Facebook. God willing, we'll see you on Thursday. Continue to have a fabulous week. Talk to you guys soon.